So a couple of days ago, we released some new logos and some new brand images and a new website for TMG, which has been a really interesting process to go through and a really important process for us to go through. And so today is really a bit of a reveal, if you like. Some of you may have already seen it, but we've been working with David and his team from Seven, and I would really like you to take you through what we've done and why we've done it, and we really hope you like it.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, hi. My name is David Bowles. I do strategy at the brand agency Seven, and today what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of insight about how the Tech Marketers Group confirmed who they really were, and in doing so, made a new brand in the process. So, as I said, I am David, I'm from Seven Brand Agency, and that's Justin. He's from Tech Marketers Group, and together with our teams, we have done a project. Now, it's interesting because you think about brand and you think about marketing, and you think, well, is there a very clear relationship? And what is that relationship? Well, I'm going to be slightly cryptic when I speak to you about it to start with, because the relationship really is that brand sets a context. If your brand is full and complete, so too can be your marketing. And your marketing can only really be as wide and deep as your brand is. But really, this relationship between brand and marketing is all about helping you to win. Because to win in marketing, you need a couple of things, okay? And that first thing that you need is some type of differentiation in your product, in your service, in your pricing, in the speed, in the location, in your distribution, all of those things. We all understand what differentiation is. It's the thing that the company or the individual will pay a premium to have from you. But here's the uncomfortable question. How many of you, hands on heart, could say that what you are working on right now is truly differentiated, either as a product or as a space occupied in the mind of the audience? So, to win in marketing, you need to be differentiated. It is very helpful to also be distinctive. That idea of distinctiveness creates the flywheel, differentiation and distinctiveness, to help you win in market. But distinctiveness, it's more than just standing out. It's just simply a way of being more you. I'm sure all of you now here are saying, that's no problem. We're a confident organization, we get on really well, we know who we are. But is anyone here a startup? Is anyone working really hard with the minimum viable product in an absolute rush to be accepted and play in the market? So you decide at the last minute, let's do what they're doing so we can fit in. Well, I can say that's not the you that I am talking of. Maybe you are adding a new product. You're rushing to get to market, beta, test, deploy, live, now. Just say, we're like them, but maybe that we're just a little bit better. I know no one here does this, but that's not really the you that I am talking about when we're talking about the you. Now this one, new lead gen marketing campaign. Oh, got some hot topics and keywords? Yeah, gonna smash into the side of that funnel and grab some leads? Yeah, get in their faces, because we're just as good. Now, okay, that's not the you that I am talking about, but I do know that we do it all the time. But the one thing that would make it so much easier is if we all knew who we really are. Now, the idea of knowing who we really are is pretty simple. It's everyone who can agree that what it is that we do, how we do it, and ultimately why we do that. Now, those three things really is the blueprint to your brand. And that's the shortcut that I will use when I talk about this understanding that you all have within your organization I will just say that it is your brand. So by helping Justin and the TMG team really know who they are, we went from this to this. It's a simple process that got us there, okay? A workshop, a report, a creative process, and a design delivery. That's it, just 4 simple steps. And that simple process also had a really simple structure, which I'm going to quickly run through now. We asked 3 questions in a workshop, 3 main questions. Unsurprisingly, what, how, why? 3 questions, then shadow questions that go with it. Once we'd done that, the report that we produced covered 7 elements: purpose, vision, mission, valued behaviors, brand position, brand personality, brand idea. It was summarized in 1 brand model that got down to a brand, DIA. Oh my God, a brand idea, right? So that brand model is the summary. It's the action that the brand needs to get to. And that brand idea came down to 2 words. That was it. I mean, I'm sure AI could get down to 2 words, but whether or not everyone would have agreed with it on the process, I am a little unsure. The 2 words were nurturing growth. And then there's 3 simple lines of substantiation. Nurturing growth, because it speaks to our community pay it forward belief, because it speaks to the appeal and power of growth from marketing, and it recognizes the role marketing plays in tech. 2 words, nurturing growth. Now, I have to just have a little bit of a pause here, because I am very aware that I have used a lot of words that people back in your organization may find somewhat objectionable. I have used vision, mission, purpose, valued behaviors, all of the woo-woo words. Well, let me give you this, because this glossary is all you are going to need. If there's one thing you take out of my presentation today, it's this glossary, because the idea of success and the idea of creating a brand within your organization is about agreement. People can only agree to things when they know what they're agreeing to. Now, these definitions here are incredibly fine. There's the difference between a purpose and a vision is very fine. The difference between the vision and the mission is that it just simply involves a key stakeholder. But that doesn't mean that it's not important for everybody understanding what it is that these words mean, so that they can build to a universal meaning. So we were at nurturing growth. Everything had come down. As I said, that brand model, it's a summary. It gets us to a point where we can perform brand actions. The brand actions that we needed to perform for TMG were design-based. So therefore, we use this to craft a design brief, which is a work order, okay? So this design brief has front and center that idea of nurturing growth, because it is. Then we need a very pithy and simple description of the problem. We need an injection of modernity to energize the community of like-minded members. Because some of you out there may have been thinking, well, nurturing growth, and that TMG had a lot of color and it had a lot of hard edges. So was that really about nurturing growth? Because I would have been expecting maybe some hands, small child, perhaps the sun setting. But that's the brand idea. That's what the brand stands for. It's not the execution of it in this example, because TMG needs an injection of modernity to energize themselves that makes them stand out from that sea of sameness in these types of organizations, and also provides distance between them and clear competitors, the Marketing Association, whilst making them look smarter. Okay, so that's that quick, pithy description of the problem. Then who's it for? This is the other thing. Who do we need to convince of this? Well, current and future members, to deepen their community experience. Tech-based businesses who need education in the power of marketing, and tech community at large to see there is an authority in the specifics of marketing for tech. Hardly exhaustive, but I'm hoping that when you read that, you go, oh, right, great, okay, I understand what that is. Then we just simply say, well, what do we need? And in this instance, it's a brand identity, and it's going to be applied to a website structure, and it is going to be on the things you see around you today. And then when it comes to the last part, what else do we need to know? That's where we can say we really need to appeal to people's heads as experts, to their hearts as being engaged, and promote the outcome as a sense of belonging. And that's when we got to this. This is the what that we did. What I'm going to take you through now is a design presentation, because that's what we do to prove that this idea can go places. It has a degree of flexibility. It can work in different formats. It can go on Justin's car. I won't fish on that. But we do know that TMG, when they operate a surplus, they return it back into activities for the community. It's not for Justin to have a new Mini. And then we start to get playful with it and say where it can go. Black t-shirts, white t-shirts, all of those things. You've seen these already. But this is an example, and what it does is it shows you that this is an interpretation and an idea that can go places. So, what did TMG commit to this? There were 4 things that they did. The first was that they were unflinchingly honest with each other for just 3 hours in a workshop. The next thing they needed to do was to receive a report with an open mind to think about what we had observed, what the implications to that was, and how it could move things forward. The third thing they did was spend 1 hour in a creative presentation. And what we asked of them at that point was to say, we've done all this work with words, now see if you can get it to be understood as a color, as a feeling, as a meaning. And then they had 1 hour with the design presentation, where they were extremely happy to see that the idea wasn't going into a cul-de-sac, it was going into many places. So that was what TMG committed to this. Roughly 5 hours, give or take the fighting they did behind our backs to get to agreement. Okay, now our commitment, almost a 1-to-1 ratio, a week for an hour. We needed to do a workshop. We needed to prepare for it. It took a week. We needed to do a findings report, get everything, all those answers to those questions down into those 7 elements that was then summarized in the brand model that instructed the brand action, which was a creative brief, which we went into the creative process, and then we delivered the design. So about 5 weeks for us. And this is it. This is the shortcut. TMG, nurturing growth. After the time they invested and the work that we did, here is our shortcut. We could call it, it's our brand idea, and it should help. I know that you are overwhelmed every week with the number of decisions you need to make about yes or no, should I consider actually taking this action? These 2 words could help. If faced with a binary option, which we seldom are, but I'm presenting, but if you're faced with a binary option, which one is going to provide the better opportunity to nurture growth? Because when you have that working for you, not only will it help you be differentiated and distinctive, but you get the flywheel effect of it reinforcing both, because they are great, but they are better when they are together. Thank you. I've been David at 7.co.nz, and please email me for that glossary. Thank you.